That was a, great team win. And when I say team, I'm talking about all the players, all the fans, all the people in the organization who contribute, to the success of the team in every way. The fans were great out there today. The atmosphere was great. I think it affected their offense a little bit. Did a great job on special teams today, coming up with two big plays that both turned out to be scores. I was really, proud of the way we played on defense. They got a really good offensive team, really hard to defend, really good receivers. When we made mistakes, they made plays. We made a few, all things that can be correctable. But I was really proud of the way we were able to run the ball and have balance offensively. So, AJ did a really good job of managing the game today. We did a lot of, no huddle stuff where we could see what they were doing and try to see what they were doing, and so that it'd take us out of some bad plays. And I really felt like that was a real key to the game. So, we ask every guy on our team, to step up and, be the best football player you can be today. Now's the time to do it. We're in SEC play. This is a big game for us in our division, and they have a really good football team, and I was really, proud of the way our players, did what they did out there today. So, C.J. Mosley's the one guy we lost in the game with an elbow injury. He never returned. He's probably going to be day-to-day and not sure, probably be questionable for the next game, but we don't really, know that right now. So we just have to kind of wait and see and play that one by ear. A.J. came in but has no issue or problem. Never even missed a series. So, he's fine. We just want to make sure that he didn't have an issue, and he doesn't. We got some other guys banged up. It was a physical game out there. Two good football teams playing, so really proud of the way our guys, competed in the game, played hard for 60 minutes. A lot of players played. A lot of players had roles in the game, and they all did a really good job. So, and I can't thank our fans enough for the job that they did of affecting the game, the entire game. So it was great.
A lot of big plays in this game. Was Menzies the biggest?
I think it was because probably, when we didn't score, when we had the ball inside the one and ended up having to settle for a field goal, I think the momentum of the game changed a little bit right there. So when on the next series for us to intercept and score on defense, probably huge. So, that was a big turning point in the game from a momentum standpoint, and we need to make more plays like that, get more turnovers. I don't think we had a lot of sacks today, but we sure did affect the quarterback, and that's probably the key to the drill.
Coach, it seemed like after a series or two, y'all figured out what they were doing in the passing game and made them really one-dimensional as far as not being able to run. Could you talk about the way your defense played today?
Well, we knew going into the game, if you look at Arkansas, everybody talks about what a great pass offense team they are, and they are. But when they're able to run the ball effectively against you, you really got issues, because now you're off balance all the time. And we played a lot of split safety coverages today, dared them to run the ball, and when they did, other than the one trap play where we got trapped where they got a holding call, I thought we did a pretty good job up front of, being able to manage their runs, and I think that's a real key to being successful against them. That was still the first goal for the defense, to stop the run. All right, that when they create balance in their offense, they are you really got problems. But if you can stay ahead of them on a down and distance and don't let them create that balance, then you got a better chance to play loose, play football with them, which is what they play a lot all the time. And then you can match up and try to have a chance to cover them.
Coach, speaking of covering, can you talk about the pass coverage, in particular the open field tackling and preventing them from getting yards after catch?
Well, I think that's a real key. They have, really good receivers. Number 3 and number 4 are both great guys running after the catch. and they throw them on those crossing patterns, and last year they really hurt us on that. Our guys did a really good job of matching those today and did a good job of tackling in space. And you know, when you play teams that spread you out, you know, that's exactly what you need to do. It's hard to deny them the ball all the time when they're in empty, but if you can get the ball to come out quick and tackle them well and affect the quarterback, because they can only block 5, that's probably a real key. And I thought we did a good job of mixing it up. We did a good job of disguising today. And I think there were times where there was some confusion. And probably the thing that we struggled with the most was when they just stayed in regular people. You know, that's where they hit a couple big plays on us. And we finally just started playing nickel against that, and that helped us a lot.
Nick, Kirkpatrick and Barron get a lot of the publicity, but Minzy just completely shut down Joe Adams. I think he touched the ball one time. Let's talk about him as a player and how he played today.
Well, you know, DQ has really played, you know, really well for us. And, you know, last year, we knew he was a good cover guy. We knew he was a really good player. But because he was coming off an injury, he never really learned and developed in the summertime like he needed to. So we just strictly played him as a nickel. Now he's really, really comfortable and confident in what he has to do. He's a really good cover guy. And, you know, matched up well. And other than the one, I think, 3rd and 10, he played him a little soft. You know, he did a really good job.
Coach, I wanted to ask you what it took to get C.J. Mosley replaced in the lineup. I know he's got a couple different roles. We saw DePriest and Hubbard. How difficult was it getting his positions covered?
Well, you know, when you do what we do and have all the different personnel groups, you know, it's not like the guy goes out in one thing. You know, and we had you know, a 4 linebacker, 1 down guy, you know, scheme that we were going to use today, which we used some anyway, and that's where, you know, Hubbard got in there. And, you know, we had 3 linebackers and 2 down guys, and then we had 4 down guys and 1 linebacker. So we really had to shuffle and mix and match. But Darrell did a really good job playing in nickel, which is where CJ plays. But then we had to mix and match, you know, Alex Watkins and Hubbard and the other personnel groups, you know, to get it fixed. And they did a good job. You know, they really did.
Coach, the dump down pass was effective again today. The long touchdown to Trent. Can you just kind of talk about how that play is really working for you guys?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The dump down pass to Trent for the touchdown.
That was a screen.
A screen.
Yeah. And, you know, we run the speed sweep to Mays a couple times, you know, early in the season through the first 3 games, and we wanted to put the screen in off of it, and, you know, it worked, and we did a good job of executing it and, you know, made a big play. But, you know, we have plenty of things to work on, plenty of things to improve on. I thought A.J. did a really good job of managing the game today, though. I mean, he was calling almost every play at the line and put us in the right play just about every time. So we're really happy with the way he managed the game.
Nick, Trent obviously had several big plays for you today, and he ended up with 17 carries and 3 catches for 20 touches. Is that, when you talk about distributing the ball amongst your playmakers, is that kind of what you hope for in a game like this?
Well, we do, but we have all the confidence in the world in Eddie. And Eddie hurt his toe a little bit, so he was out there for a while, but he came back and played well, and it's not an issue or a problem for him. But you know, both those guys, I think keeping both those guys fresh is probably real important to us in terms of what we do. I just think we just need to do a little bit better job of being able to stretch the field vertically and throw the ball down the field. And had some opportunities today to make a couple plays and missed them, but those are the kind we got to hit.
Nick, Trent had a variety of plays for you today, kickoff return, passing, running, had some blocks on pass protection. Can you just assess his overall game today?
Well, you know, Trent does a great job because he plays well without the ball. You know, a lot of players, you know, they only think that they have to do things when they have the ball, and they don't realize that it's important what the other 10 guys do when they have the ball. Well, Trent's always been a guy that realizes the importance of what he does all the time. And, you know, we didn't have him on kickoff return in the beginning. He really wanted to be on it. He does a good job. Hit the run alley today pretty good for us. And you know, he had a great game. He's a good receiver. He's a good blocker. And he's certainly a good runner. So he and Eddie need to be explosive players for us. I mean, I know everybody wants to see long passes and big plays passing, but, you know, we're going to be the kind of team that's going to need to make some big plays running it too.
Coach, Greg McElroy tweeted that you'd been working on that fake for a year and finally got a chance to run it. Just talk about what led to the call, how it was executed, and how long has it been in the back pocket?
Well, we've been practicing it for a long time, but I just finally said, you know, today that the first time we got in field goal range, regardless of what the situation in the game, whether we was ahead by 21 or behind by 21, we were going to run it. And, you know, A.J. did a nice job on it. Mike did a nice job on it. And, you know, we have been working on it for a while. So if practice means anything, we executed it well. So it was great to do the punt return. You know, we've been hurting people with side returns, you know, that are in what we call bulldog punt, which is the spread punt stuff. And so the first time we hit them pretty good on the side return, and then their guys started running, you know, to the side return. So I told the guys at halftime, I said, look, we're going to block the same guys, just block them the other way, and we're going to stick it right up the middle. And he went out the gate. Big play, you know, really big play. And, you know, Mays is doing a pretty good job of fielding the ball and sticking it back there, and that's got to be a weapon for us as well. So, you know, special teams did a great job today. You know, they're really good. You know, they'd returned 2 punts for touchdowns and a kickoff for a touchdown. So I was really pleased with the way we played on special teams today.
Nick, as you said earlier, Arkansas brought a pretty good football team in here. How do you think this defensive performance ranks in terms of the performances since you've been here? And is this defense as good as any you've had?
Well, you know, I think, you know, we've had some pretty good defenses through the years, and certainly had a great one here in 2009 and pretty good in 2008 too, and really ended up in the top 5 last year. So we've got a lot of experience. And, you know, I think the guys got to keep challenging themselves to improve so that, because we're going to play a lot of good teams, we got to cover a lot of good people, and you know, you got to pay attention to detail and focus on the right stuff. That's what's going to help you be successful. And I'm pleased with their performance today, but I'm sure that there's things that we could have done better, and people are going to see what we do and take advantage of it in the future. So everybody's got to take the next step in terms of being the best football player that they can be. You know, and every day that we play, that's a challenge. That, you know, we've got to play our best all the time. There's going to come a day out there, though, when we struggle to get them stopped on defense, and the offense is going to have to do a really good job. And, you know, that's why you got to have a good team, and everybody can contribute in a positive way. So, you know, we certainly don't want any complacency in what we're doing, because we got some real stiff tests and some real good football players that we have to play against in the future.
Last one, Coach, you guys really got after Tyler Wilson there in the second half. Is that due to a change from the first half, or was it just better execution from the front?
No, I mean, I think the style of the game changed a little bit. You know, they when we got ahead of them a little bit, we started calling more pressures and not necessarily playing, you know, all man-to-man, but did some pressures where we affected them a little bit. I think that did a much better job of running pass rush games up front when we just rushed 4 guys and flushed them in the pocket. So it disrupted the timing of the passing game. So when you play good pass defense, man, it's a combination of what your front guys do, how your undercover guys do, and how your back end people do. And I think this was a good example of, you know, that today, that everybody executed and did what they had to do to affect the quarterback. And, you know, we'd like to get more sacks, but, and I know we get criticized for not getting any more sacks than we get, and that's a big problem, big issue, and, you know, we'll never be any good ever if we don't. But that's, you know, Tommy's assessment of it. But you got to affect the quarterback. Affecting the quarterback, sacking affects them. all right, but hitting him all the time and making him move his feet in the pocket, because you push the pocket affects them too. And it disrupts the timing of what they're trying to do. And, you know, it's really important. You know, we only blitzed one time today, really blitzed. Not pressured, blitzed. And that's where they scored their second touchdown, because we didn't blitz right and didn't hit the right gaps. So we didn't get any pressure, and, you know, had a chance to get the ball down and didn't get it down. So, you know, but I think we did a good job of pressuring. I think Kirby did a really good job today, man. I'm telling you, that is hard. You know, I've been through that many, many times. All right, we did a lot of kills today. To call those, to package those, to do those things where you show one thing and do something else, it's a great job by the players, but it's hard to implement it too in the game. All right, and this is, you know, I was a defensive coordinator in the NFL, and that's what you see all the time. All right, and our players aren't as adaptable to do those things all the time, and they really did a good job today of executing, and he did a really good job of implementing what we wanted to do. So, and but this was a team win. This was a team win. I mean, this was a great team win, including everybody in the organization, including our fans and the atmosphere that they created out there, and they affected the game and helped our defense tremendously. All right, thank you.